Hey y'all, I'm back. In today's video, I'm following up and updating y'all on my experience after coming out as non-binary. It's been 7 months, y'all. 7 months since I put out my coming out video. And y'all, we just reached a 1K views on that video. Ooh, ooh. Yes, I am super excited about that. Why? Because I know it is spreading the knowledge, and I really believe that education is part of the solution. Since I've come out, I've had a lot of people reach out to me. People are reaching out to me, thanking me for empowering them to want to do the same. I've also had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that they are too afraid to come out as non-binary because they don't believe that their family, their friends, that society is gonna accept them, which sucks. Other people are just reaching out to me and thanking me for educating them on my experience as a non-binary person. I will say everybody's journey is different. Everybody has a different journey. So my experience as a non-binary person is not going to be the same experience every non-binary person has. I am not a representative of the non-binary, gender fluid peoples. I am just a person who happens to be non-binary, gender fluid, and I just really want to be myself. I know that part of that is a responsibility to make sure that I'm continuing to educate people, and that's something that I feel privileged enough to be able to do via these videos, conversations, and I've even received invitations to speak about my experience, which is exactly what I want. I really just want to spread awareness. I really just want people to meet more people like me so that y'all can see that we are just regular people roaming this earth alongside of you, right next to you probably. You might not even know. One of the most fascinating things I've learned since I've come out is the amount of gender possibilities. It is so cool that we're having these conversations and that we're able to talk about this. That is what makes us all special as fuck. Another thing that I was really super ignorant to be honest, was that being non-binary really makes me part of the trans community. I'ma just say this. If I ever see anybody trying to with someone trans or non-binary or just different, you better believe my ass is not gonna stay quiet. The trans community is extremely vulnerable, especially the Black trans community. So I will always do everything I can to make sure that people don't have to live in fear, including myself, y'all. Thankfully, I really haven't experienced as many situations. Obviously, that's partly because we have been locked at home for the past year, but really, it's been a lot of outpouring of love. Even my friends have started asking questions. It's just been really mostly great so far. Now, do I feel fully confident going out in a full beat? I'm getting there. My confidence has absolutely gone up since I've come out, but there is still a part of me that is scared of what I'm gonna say if somebody says something stupid to me because I'm wearing makeup. So, speaking of, did make kind of a big, bold step as far as letting people in my career life know about me. And I added my pronouns to my LinkedIn profile, y'all. And you see, that's something that I just learned too. By adding your pronouns to your profiles, you're actually helping normalize people using the correct pronouns. Ever since I've added my pronouns to my LinkedIn, I've actually had people reach out and ask me questions about my pronouns. I really thought that I was gonna get a lot more kind of hate and hate mail because it happens. Every once in a while, I'll get some stupid comment on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or somewhere from somebody, but it's usually some like 10-year-old kid in the Midwest, so I'm not even trying to break a sweat, y'all. I do feel really grateful for the response that I've gotten since coming out. And this is why I said that everybody's experience is different. When I actually came out as gay, and that's another video, y'all, it was dramatic, traumatic, and unnecessary. And this could have been very similar, but it wasn't. The only thing that's really bothering me, I guess, is that, and I'm hesitating saying this publicly, but the only thing that really sucks is that I know my parents have seen my coming out video, and we've spoken many times since then, and they've not said one thing to me. I'm not really surprised because they are pretty old school and I don't think they really understand different genders, but it still sucks, y'all. And I know that I am not the only one who's gone through this or is going through this type of situation. Eventually, I'll just force the conversation onto them. But it is important for people to know that acknowledgement and outreach really does make people feel valued. It makes them feel like you care. I know my parents love me very much, but they are old school as f. Anyway, enough about my parents. I just really want people to know that they're not alone in their struggles when they come out. There is a brighter day and there are other people out there. There are people who will become your tribe, who you will find throughout your journey. You will make friends. You will meet people who share your experience, and that moment is beautiful. And I personally have my group of friends who are extremely supportive. They are amazing people and I love them, and they have their own stories. They have their own journeys, but I don't really have any non-binary friends. So I decided to go on Facebook and join non-binary social groups, and y'all, that was an experience. I'm not trying to on Facebook groups because I did actually make a couple of like acquaintances, but for the most part, if you are just coming out as a non-binary person, I personally wouldn't recommend trying to find friends on these Facebook groups. And the reason is because anything you post on these groups generally turns into a negative. It's so easy to be taken completely out of context. I speak from experience because I kind of had a little bit of a foot and mouth situation. So, okay, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Basically, if you really know me, you know I am ESL. I spoke Spanish first. So sometimes I mix words up. It just happens. So what happened is that I posted the video about my biggest insecurity, which y'all should go watch. And I asked the group if anybody else had any insecurities besides the body dysmorphia, not dysphoria, dysmorphia, that non-binary trans people generally seem to struggle with. It is a generalization, but I do see it a lot in these groups. It's a topic of conversation quite a bit. Y'all, the first like few comments were really nice. They were really positive, uplifting. You know, the purpose was really to just uplift people. If they commented and said that they had an insecurity, I wanted to really uplift them. That was the case for the first few comments, but then y'all, it went there. It went there. First, somebody corrected me on my error, my dysphoria error, which is fine. Call me out. If I'm wrong, call me out. We Gucci. I will fix it. So I went and I edited it and I fix it. But then somebody else commented and was like, we don't all suffer from dysphoria. So, and I'm like, you're right. We don't. I don't generally suffer from dysphoria myself. So basically, all that to say that there is still a lot for me to learn. And I think that if you are just coming out as non-binary, gender fluid, trans, whatever, the best way to make friends is going to be just through life experience. Can't really force it, you know? There's actually a funny saying about love, but I'm gonna use it for this. Friendships are like farts. If you have to force it, it's probably just know that you will find your tribe and they will get you and you will be loved. I'm so happy I'm able to use my platform to talk about these things. And honestly, for me to have a place to talk about my journey, this is basically my live journal and y'all get to watch it. If I could give any advice to anybody who either just came out or is struggling to come out or is even struggling to figure out what their gender identity is, it would be this. This is your journey, not anybody else's, yours. And if they ain't paying your bills, if they ain't you, then you pay them no mind. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out my coming out video. And don't forget, y'all, we're all just trying. So be nice.